Well, how about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. As the title says, we almost lost it all. That is all our plants in the greenhouse. We've had several frosts over the past couple nights, dipping down into the high 20s, low 30s. Not terrible freeze, but it's enough to hurt these summertime plants. We have been running a heater in here at night, and I saw a temperature that said it was going to be down to 26, 27. So I thought I needed to hook up 2 heaters, and all we're running in these greenhouses is little space heaters like this. And I figured I was gonna hook up 2 onto a power strip. That night is gonna get low, and I guess that was too much power for that power strip. I come rolling through the farm about 5:30 in the morning on my way to work. I kind of run out here every morning and drop off my dog, so he's already out here, and kind of check on little things in the morning. Realized the heater wasn't on, walked in here, and everything was frozen. So bad luck. We're gonna try to show everything here on our channel, you know, lessons learned, the bad and the good. But we definitely did a number on our plants in here, and everything's not gone. I'll show you everything real quick. It's been a couple of days. I've been so sick to my stomach about the situation, I really haven't walked in the greenhouse much. But let me flip the camera around. I'll show you the plants, and then we're gonna get out here and do some work with the goats. But I did want to share what was going on in the greenhouse. So pretty much everything got hit a little bit. This tomato tray right here is not doing well at all, but we've got several tomatoes left. I mean, you can see how the tops just kind of got hit. It's starting to come out of it a little bit. I watered everything good about 2 days ago and fertilized. I need to go through here and thin out the weaker plants like that. Just leaving 1 per cell, and just kind of, I guess, pull out the weaker ones. So the stronger ones have a little better chance of surviving. It's gonna hurt a good bit when we go to sell, just because some of these plants, like this tray right here, you know, you've got several decent plants, but these right here are not coming back. Just part of it, I guess. Like I said, we're gonna show a little bit of everything. Tomato plants fared all right. I mean, we definitely have some loss. Our cucumbers are gone. No count on those. This is straight neck squash. A couple of those will come out. I'm gonna replant some cucumbers just for ourselves. I'm not gonna plant enough to worry about selling. Our peppers, luckily they hadn't came up yet when it froze, so none of them got hit. This is some zucchini and stuff. Spaghetti squash handled it like a champ. Marigolds handled it. I'm surprised. I lost some a couple of years ago because of the freeze. I guess they were just lower beside these plants. I don't know. But our squash and zucchini and stuff like that's going to come out. These are some more cucumbers. I think we're going to be okay. You can definitely tell where it got hit, but I think we're going to be okay here. And some more squash. I think it's going to be all right. Those lower leaves didn't get hit that hard. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it, give it time, and see if they come out of it. So like I said, I was devastated when I walked in there. I don't have a ton of money in there right now. It's probably $300-400 worth of seeds and soil. That is a good bit of money, and I stood to make some money off of that greenhouse this year. It's just time's gonna tell how it turns out, but it's just devastating, all the time and effort and everything that you put into it, and telling people you're gonna have plants, and then something like this happens. I'm still waiting to see how everything's gonna come out. So it is what it is, part of it. But outside, our early spring stuff, you know, they're fine. They don't a freeze doesn't bother them too bad. We still have plenty to sell. Sales have kind of slowed down. Definitely planted a little more spring stuff than I should have, but this is my first year selling the spring stuff, so I was kind of testing the market. We sold what sold. Broccoli sold real well. The Brussels sprouts have sold real well. Some cabbage and stuff like that. Still have tons of onions and lettuce and stuff like that, but I'm probably gonna haul some of that to my house today. Actually, we've got some planter tubs on our porch. Plant all that lettuce, and I'm gonna plant a bed of broccoli and cauliflower and all that good stuff at the house in town. But that's enough about the greenhouse. Like I said, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to be in there that much. Got plenty of work I need to do in there, but we're gonna let them plants straighten up a little bit. But today, I'm gonna do my best to get our 2 bucks and 1 steer goat up the road to The lease, or what we call the lease, is this piece of property we get to use to put the goats on. We're going to take our 2 bucks up there and 1 steer goat. The 2 bucks have been here for a while. I'm feeding them grain, but there's plenty of grass up there. The doe herd is not going to go back up there for a couple months until after their kids are big enough to make that trip. So we're just going to take the 2 bucks up there, let them have some grass, and we're going to take one of them steer goats or withers up there to kind of grow out. The family that owns that property want to butcher a goat this year, so I'm going to take that goat up there with them. But first, we're going to go ahead and do the chores real quick. Got to move our cows, our steers, and just kind of look over the doe herd, feed the rabbits, and all that good stuff that comes with that. So the first order of business today, and what I normally start off with every day, honestly, because I'm enjoying it a good bit, is moving these steers. Mr. T and Mr. B for T-bone. This is Mr. B. Mr. T over here, he's got a little more of an attitude, so he got Mr. T. But we're going to be moving them. I haven't really shown you how I do it. It's not really rocket science, but I guess I'll take you through the steps today. The first thing what we're going to do is we're going to grab their feed trough, dump this water out. We got a decent shower last night. And then we're just going to pull it underneath the fence. Try not to get shot. I'll be done with the fence in a second. And this is going to just keep their attention for a second. I'm going to go ahead and pour their feed in here. And while I pull up that back wire over there, they're going to stand here and look at this feed trough, wanting to get to the feed. And then I'll open the wire whenever I get my new fence up, and they'll come on through. That's the plan. It's been working. We are feeding these guys a little bit of grain right now. We bought a ton whenever we bought these steers, and we're going to start them off on grain. As the grass continues to grow here in the spring and the summer, they're going to kind of transition to a more of a grass fed. We'll probably finish them off on grain, but we're going to utilize the grass this summer, try to put some weight on them. It's been working out pretty well. They do have some runny manure right now, but a lot of that is because the grass is green, got a lot of protein in it right now. They're eating this feed. They don't really have a lot of fiber in their diet. They're not really getting hay. They don't really need it. Whenever you're looking at a ruminant animal, if you look on their left hip, if that's full, then they pretty much, their rumen's full. You know, they've been eating enough to keep them full. They're going to be growing. Same thing on a goat or a sheep. That's the easy way to tell if they're getting enough. So got their feed, got their interest right here. Let's go down here and unhook the wire and take it off the post and roll it up. So I mentioned it in a previous video, but right now they're getting a strip that's probably about 32 to 36 feet wide and about 200 foot long. And honestly, I could choke it down a little bit, but I'm trying to run them through this pasture as quick as possible because the does are going to be coming into this pasture next. And I want good grass in here when they're coming because we're expecting baby goats in about 3 weeks. I want those mamas to have the best they can as of right now. So we're just running these steers through, and they're leaving a good bit behind. But this is how I've got my fence hooked to our perimeter wire. We've got this wire right here about 16 inches up to keep the goats from getting their head stuck, keep them from rubbing on our fence. But I just put it on this step-in post, and then I can unhook it and it still stays tight, stays up, and we're good to go. Got the same thing over here. We're gonna leave that one hot so they don't test that fence and try to get that feed. But now I'm just gonna come through, since this wire is off, and I'm gonna unhook the wire from the step-in post, kind of hard to do with one hand, all the way down, so then I can just walk the reel back over here, take it over there, stretch it across the fence. So right here, I started doing this yesterday, and I think this is what I'm gonna continue to do, but I have my water sitting right here when they were in this little section right here, and whenever I moved them over here, I just took my wire over there. That way I didn't have to dump out the water, waste any, and I only have to move the water bucket every 2 days. So now whenever I dump that out, I'll take it over there about where my jacket's hanging up. We'll put it there, and then the next day I can just leave it there when they go on the other side and just move my wire to the other side of the water trough. Pretty simple little things, save you time as you go. And this is new to us. We've only been doing it for about 2 weeks, so we're still learning. Now I'm not gonna be able to do this and hold the camera, but I've just got a cheap reel that I picked up from a hardware store that holds about 1,300 foot of this poly wire. And so we're just gonna roll this up, and then I'll hook it to the fence over there. Now that I've got it rolled up, I'm just gonna hook my wire to our perimeter fence right now, and then unlock this reel. Sorry, bad camera work. I'm just gonna walk this across, get it tight, and then we can come back and put our step-in post, and then put some juice on this wire. We got our wires stretched across fairly tight, pretty straight. I just hook it onto the fence, and then I'll come back and add our step-in post, and we'll be good to go. Alrighty, our new paddock is set up, ready to go. Our guys are patiently waiting. So we'll go ahead and open this wire. Move this bucket out of the way. We'll open this wire and let them come on through. Once we stop feeding grain, I went and bought some more step-in posts. I've got another reel I've got to get set up, but we're gonna basically run 3 lines once we stop feeding grain, so I can entice them. I'm not enticing them with feed anymore, so I'm gonna need a back fence while I get the new fence set up for the time being. So we'll just have to start putting up one more fence. That'd be it. All right, guys, go on through. Come on, you got it. And starting to get the hang of it. And that's all there is to it. I just need to move their mineral feeder over and their water, and they're good to go. That's how we're moving steers these days. So in total, that takes me probably, I mean, when I'm not recording or waiting on water to fill up, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get done every day, which isn't bad. Number one, eventually it's gonna start saving us some money when we're kind of grass feeding these guys, and we're not putting money in the grain, but also we're building soil and all that good stuff that comes along with it. We're not eating all our grass, and it's, like I said, it's enjoyable. So now that that's done, let's move on to some aggravating stuff, I guess, because on today's episode of pig farming, it might not be for me. Can you see in this hay bale right here? Let me get a little closer, I'll show you. One of our gilts has decided to get out of her pen and just hang out with the goats, I guess. So how this happened, I'm not really sure. I'm up here at the pig pen now. I don't see anywhere she could have got out underneath or anything like that. Let's go around the back side and see. I don't see anything back here. I think there's only one explanation. You miss your buddy? I'm assuming we have a jumper. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't see any hair on top of this fence, but this is just a standard cattle panel, I guess 36 inches tall. I think that's what they are. And this pen where we added hay and kept our butcher pigs in here. Hey, I'm trying to talk. Has built up about a foot or so. So I guess we just have a jumper. Let me see if I can get her back in this catch pen and get her back where she belongs. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you comfortable? You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be in here with these goats. Let's go back to your pen. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Go back to your friend. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Goats, y'all come out. Our goats stay, I don't care. Stay in here while I bring her through this gate. You gotta do this fast before your friend comes too. Come on. Let's go, pig. Oh, don't go through there. And perfect. Now stay. Okay, so it turns out she did not jump that fence, which I thought was kind of weird. I've had pigs jump before, but it's not common. But instead, she had pushed this gate with a little bit of a gap where just she can get through where it was sitting right here. The same thing I have over there, but I've got that one ratchet strapped on. I just had this one with bungee cords. So we took that gate off and put 2 wires across. Got her back in there. So hopefully she'll stay. Just gonna let the water fill up here. This video is starting to get a little bit of length to it, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the rest of my chores. All I've got left is the rabbits and the goats down there, but I'm not gonna feed them till after we move the bucks because I want to be able to entice the bucks with some feed. So let me get the rest of my chores done. I'm gonna hook up to the trailer and I'll catch back up with you and we'll see if we get these bucks and that one little wither up the road. So everybody's in the barn now. I've got a little bit of feed. I'm about to dump in that trough and we're gonna catch Mr. Thunder, Mr. Clyde, and one of these 2 brown goats. They're both males, been steered. So we're gonna pick one of those, whatever one. They're about the same size, twin brothers. We're gonna sell the other one at the sale barn, and whatever it brings is what the people that are buying this one of them, the butcher, will pay me. I got the trailer hooked up. I'm gonna catch and sort what I need first before we get that far. But I had somebody yesterday comment on a video on my video where we were sorting off all these cull goats, saying they were interested in what my ideal sorting system would look like. And I actually have something drawn out, and it's gonna be under this lean-to right here and kind of go on into here. And that is one of our main goals this year, is to build this system, working pens. So I'll see if I can get my drawing a little bit better, and maybe in a future video coming up, we'll talk about what I plan on doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing and stuff like that. And maybe we can get started building this project. But let me go in here, dump the feed, see if we can catch everybody and sort off who we don't need. But we got the 3 that we're gonna take up there. I'm gonna back the trailer on up some and we'll get them loaded. Backed up a little too far. Hey, Griffith, come here. That'll work. Let's go, goats. Come on, goats. Scott, we open that door and just kind of get behind. Well, they're coming now. Never mind.
That's it.
Well, I'm back home now. Got the goats dropped off, gave them some mineral, filled up the water and all that good stuff they need. The grass up there looks pretty good, but like I said earlier, we're taking them up there because it's going to be probably a good 2 months before we'll take our doe herd back up there. I want the babies that's going to be coming in a couple of weeks to be at least a month old before they go up there, or putting them on the trailer and all that stuff. So they're up there, good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and feed up and all that stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the video up first. The greenhouse is very disappointing, but you know, every year you're gonna learn something. You hope that it's gonna get better and better every year. This is the biggest crop in the greenhouse we have planted yet, but like I said, we learn something every year. I'm glad that I'm not doing this for a living. It is a side income for me, but I can take that hit right now. But you know, 10-15 years down the road, if I'm trying to do this full time, that could have been a very devastating thing if it was on a larger scale in a full-size greenhouse. So lessons learned, we're going to move on from it. Got the steers moved to show you how to do that, how we do that. And it's not how to do it, I guess, but how we do that is pretty simple. Honestly, that's probably my favorite chore in the afternoons right now. So I truly enjoy it. It's very peaceful to watch those cows move and kind of know that we're bettering our grass and our soil as we do that. Got the bucks moved and that one little steer goat. The rest of these guys behind the camera right here, we're going to be loading up and taking to the sale in 2 days. I don't know if that's going to be the next video or not, because me and Matthew are going to catch up all the does tomorrow, and we're going to give them their CD&T vaccine. We'll talk about what the CD&T vaccine is, why we do it, and when we do it, and all that good stuff. So that might be the next video, but after that, we're going to be selling some goats. But I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me this morning. I got a couple things done. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment. Look forward to talking to you, and we'll see y'all on the next one.